Oh, I see. Well, let's change that. How about now? Hey, there it is. Yeah, I was honestly, last time we were on together, I was like, how come no one's chatting with me? I took an offensive, not like personally. Like, I didn't see a single chat. I'm like, that's the strangest thing. I was like, not that I'm like the belle of the ball, but I usually get a little bit of chat. So welcome. We're going to be live this whole week because I really, really want to make it. Hey, Mike's in this. Mike, I spoke to Salesforce today. They go, yeah, no, we've sent Mike every email. I go, I know Mike hasn't gotten the emails because he tells me every Saturday. He goes, am I just like, is my name Skip? So we're going to work through it. They're confirming and guaranteeing me those emails got sent. So I don't know on your end, maybe there's like a super duper like spam or something, or maybe you have to actually like put my name in a, if this guy emails, like definitely get it, right? Hey, Esteban's in the house. Donald, we have a 3 o'clock call today. I know that. So let me give a little bit of a quick update. So we're going to be live the entire week because we want to make sure that we're able to answer all questions. There is a lot of, I know. There's a lot of, I don't want to say confusion, but it's just a big thing, right? Like if you're trying to create the most perfect market and change the world and create universal income, it's not as easy as, okay, I did this, and then that. In fact, the foundation of this entire program is behavioral science as measured by just my innate ability. Like for instance, if I walk across the street and get hit by a car, I know that for the rest of my life, I'll probably look right and left a bunch of times. If somebody knows that about me, they know I'm going to do that. Therefore, if they already know I'm going to do that, what can they do that can go ahead and create 1 + 1 = 3? Because they know that situation is going to happen when other people don't know it's going to happen. Therefore, it gives them a leg up on the knowledge of the future that had not happened yet. I know that's confusing, and that's my easy way of describing how this is all built. Point being, I want to make sure that I'm there for every single person, every step of the way. Now, the important announcement is that we want to go live this Wednesday. We're going to go live next Wednesday. And the reason being, well, actually, let's take a step back. So a lot of questions we're getting is on the account. Anthony, I can't log in. Anthony, I can't get my password. Anthony, I don't know my password. So this is kind of like the timeline, right? When we had created RHINOretirement, the decision had to be made. Anthony, we're about 80% there. Now, the next 20% can never really be guaranteed. Like I can never say, all right, it's just us in the room. We have this paper. We're 80% there. We're going to get the other 20% before we're launching. Because if you've ever invented something or ever done anything on the computer, until you get real-time feedback and actually have a group that's accessing your product or your platform or whatever, you don't know anything. Like you don't know the bugs. You don't know their user experience. You don't know that if they press this button, it went over. You just don't know it. So with that in mind, knowing that we're never going to be at 100% and knowing that we were at 80% and knowing that time matters, right? We can wait another 3 weeks and get 90%, or we can go right now and get to 100% even quicker, but we're going to release something that's going to have a little bit more bugs, but we're releasing it to a receptive audience. All of our owners and investors and partners, we're going to be quite friendly. Anthony, just notice this. Can you fix it? Not, I can't believe I ever came to this. This is a POS. See you later. Goodbye. Right? So I made that decision, and it's worked really well. Right? It's gone well. In fact, our $10,000 weekly goal is currently at 61,000. Jesus, right? Well, not Jesus. Is at $6,115. Meaning we are over 61% of the way to the goal. Now, why does the goal matter? Well, all goals matter, right? But because our goal of 10,000 is a weekly recurring amount that is done in not micro, but small size repetitive payments or investments every single week by a large amount of audience. For instance, if our goal was 10,000, which it is, and one person came around, like my wife said, hey, you know what? I came into like $1 million and I'm going to give you 10,000 a week for Rhino. Do you want it? So I wouldn't say no, but the goal would then have to go to 100,000 or like 1 million, because we cannot allow one person to be 100% or even 10% of it, because now we're completely hostage to what that one person does in the future. So say, for instance, I say, oh my God, yeah, I love you, you love me, $10,000, cool, kumbaya, look at what we can be. And then 10,000 and 10,000, and the market's going fine and everyone's happy. Then one day she's like, I don't like the way you pick your nose, I'm divorcing you and I'm taking my 10,000 with me. What happens to the market? Like, that was a big part of it. That's what got it out the gate. And conceivably, that's still a big part of it, because it used to be 100%, maybe it's 40%, but that's still 40% of a market. So that was never the goal. And everyone would know that I've never asked anyone for a large amount. And again, large is relative, right? We go as high as 500. So to some people, that's like, oh my God, that's a really large amount. And God bless, right? Like, we're looking to, like, all of us are banding together, because there's a very large population in the world, like 1%, that think $500 is like, here's a tip, kid, like, leave me alone, right? So we're staying between $1 and $500, so that no one person has any undue influence or what's the word I'm looking for? I guess influence store over anything. I do not understand how monthly money is not available. What, that you want a monthly package? I haven't, honestly, I can do monthly. It's like pressing a button, but the way the market, and you know what, I can do monthly, because the reality is we want to do weekly, but with enough weekly, you can then put the monthly in it. And what I mean by that is, when you're investing in a market, like say, for instance, I own Rhino Bucks, I want to own Rhino Bucks, I want to make sure that Rhino Bucks goes higher. How can I do that? Well, he bought Rhino Bucks, he bought Rhino Bucks, he bought Rhino Bucks, so it's going up, up, up. But who's left to buy? Like, if everyone bought it, then who's left? Oh, wait, there's this much scheduled next week. Okay, great. I know there's $1 million still to buy next week. So I can own it here, and $1 million's going to buy next week, and $1 million's going to buy next week, and $1 million's going to buy next week, because it's already scheduled out. Well, now I know who's left to buy. Now I don't ever need to sell. Now I know it's going to go higher. Now I know I can sell to other people if I ever need it. That's been the mathematics, right? The question to monthly is an interesting one, because in the beginning, monthly wasn't a thing. Like, for instance, if I'm getting into a market and I know $1 million is scheduled to be purchased on March 15th, well, now it's kind of a little, like, I know where it is, so I can do a whole bunch of stuff before then, I can do a whole bunch of stuff afterwards. But if you've already grown the market to be so diverse and so broad that you have weeklies everywhere, you can start adding monthly. So, Dr. Bob, yeah, not Robert, I know who Dr. Bob is. I actually just emailed you before. No, definitely not arguing. I can promise you, you have to use a lot more 4-letter words for me to believe it's arguing. This is all of us. It's good ideas. So Dr. Bob, I am committing to you now. We are going to add a monthly. We'll do monthly. I know the amount you're looking for, so I'll do that monthly for you. And anyone else that decides they want to do monthly down the road, that's fine. Just ask me, because we do have enough weeklies. Now to the point, well, not now to the point of, but yeah, that's totally cool. So we have the weeklies building up. It's now 6,100. Once we get to 10,000, we're good. Now, once we get to 10,000, the reason that number is so important is because when you have a market the size of Rhino Bucks, which isn't a very big market, right? It's like us owning it. But because I'm committing to raising it a penny a day, that I'm committing to not taking any of it. I'm not selling any of it. Nothing's going into my pocket, but it's going up a penny a day. So I can go ahead and manage the market to allow all the money that's coming in to go ahead and manage it up. So it's like I'm managing an asset with no pay. Right? Okay, everyone wants to buy this. All right, let's just take all your money and just keep adding it up. And as long as we do that forever, it just continues to go up. That being said, as that comes in, because of the commitment of always raising it a penny per day until the 1 billion is exhausted, how many people are going to take notice and say, oh my God, that thing goes up every day and they're committed till 1 billion is exhausted. Well, how much is left? How much is being bought? How? And people are going to start looking to game the market. All right, Rhino has 11 million scheduled to be purchased next week. They project maybe 100,000 will be sold, as per these last 6 weeks average of the amount sold per week. Rhino only has 300 million left in existence, left in its treasury. And when that 300 million is gone, all the purchasers that have come into the market through RHINOretirement are coded for market orders, meaning they're purchasing at whatever the price is. Their purchase is agnostic to price. So what that means is when we go ahead and release Rhino, and say, for instance, we have 10 million that's scheduled to be purchased next week, right? And 1 million that's scheduled to be sold next week, we can take the demand divided by the supply and know that it's worth 10, right? You have 10 people looking to buy, 1 person looking to sell. That's 10 divided by 1 equals 10. Supply demand equals market price, right? Okay. Which means we know that we could allow another 9 million to come in and sell, and the market would be 0, would be 1. 10 million buy, 10 million sell. Okay. If you know all that, you can then create price. All right. Well, if we want to create a $5 price and we know 10 million is going to be purchased and we know 1 million is going to be sold, well, then we can allow 5 million more to be sold. So when you say allow, Anthony, what do you mean allow? You're not allowing people to sell otherwise? The investors that purchased the coin going into this, so RHINOretirement is available immediately. The investors that purchased the coin prior to it, which all of us are a part of, that coin is being held back until we get to those calculations. So when we're looking for a $5 price and 10 million is being bought or 1 million is going to be sold, well, $5 price is 10 divided by 2, right? So now we have 1 million that's able to come onto the market. All right, guys, I'm going to release your portion of 1 million to you. If you want to sell, God bless, it will be there. But if not, no big deal. All the while, that means that I, as the market maker, have to go ahead and commit to that price. How do I do that? Because what if you say, Ant, you're kind of playing a game here, right? Like you're giving this much out and you're projecting this to be sold, but what if you're wrong? What if more sells? Or what if all those projected buys, a whole bunch of people say, all right, I'm going to cancel and opt out. Like you don't know everything. You're right. I don't. So I have a full reserve account, right? That I'm willing to buy at the price. So say, for instance, the coin is supposed to be $2, right? Okay. So 10 million scheduled to be purchased, 2 million scheduled to be sold, 10 divided by 2 equals 5, right? $5, I'm sorry, $5. Well, what am I doing with that reserve account? I'm putting it as a limit order, meaning I'm only willing to buy it at a certain price. I'm putting a limit order at $4.99, meaning if the price ever breaks under 5, I got to be the one to support it. Where's the money coming from? Go back to the beginning. None of this money is going to Anthony. It's all going to build the market so that the market's allowed to fully blossom and everyone that participates finally redeems what it is their actual value is. So if Anthony has a reserve account that's funded by all the people that purchase, then therefore there's not a single amount of sales that could ever go ahead and break that price because every dollar that anyone used to purchase is in that reserve account to hold it up. So if you're going to tell me, Anthony, everyone collectively, simultaneously is going to sell it all and opt out, I would say, well, then the price is going to be $1. Anthony, I can't believe you would say that. It'd probably go to 0. No, because I have the reserve account. Every dollar that came in, I'm going to put right there. And if everyone that bought sold, that equals 1. It's not like one person's 2 people. Last time I checked, 1 person has 1 heart, right? Like buy, sell. And the special part about that is when you know that, there's no reason to sell. When you sell something, it's the fear that you believe others are selling or that there's no one left to buy or something bad's going to happen. Rhino is actually going to go ahead and be so transparent that we're going to publish these numbers every single day so that anytime anyone ever thinks about purchasing or anyone ever thinks about selling, they know the numbers. And of course, any logical person could look at numbers and say, hey, these are good or these are bad, right? Like you could use your own brain. And if we believe the numbers are good, well, then what's the word? Then we can reasonably believe other logical people will think it's good as well. If we believe that it's good and we believe other people are going to believe it's good, well, then there's a good percentage that a strong percentage are not even going to think about selling. meaning we can always go ahead and manage it. Now, as I get to us putting it back a week, so going back to the original point of the passwords. So now when we launched Rhino or RHINOretirement, it was without password. It was just put in your email address, that was your account. Well, that's not very good, right? Now, granted, nobody could then use your email address and then go ahead and withdraw. They would only be able to purchase more for you. It's kind of like, what can I do with your social security number? Like pay your taxes? Now, of course, you can do other stuff, but in this instance, I could only, if I have your login, I can only do more for you. And especially since I have everything in front of me, I could stop anything at any point, right? In your protection, of course. But we always knew that we needed a password. Duh, people's accounts need passwords. So we went ahead and launched a password feature, in which case, if you did not have a password, you were able to use your email address, and instead of pressing sign in, you could press sign up, in which case it would bring you to your email address plus your password, in which case you could go ahead and create a password. Boom, now you have a password. That's what I did, right? So I know it works. The difficulty is, A, there's some things we don't know, right? Like, because there's still bugs, every user might have a unique experience that happened to just them. So I can't sit here and say, well, it worked for me, it should work for you. No, I understand that there might be something I don't know that I don't know, right? But the larger percentage was people that then created a password and likely selected the secure password, right? Like it already pre-populates. Do you want this super duper duper password that you're never going to remember, but you better save it to your phone? And people say yes, like we do that for all of our stuff. It's the super secure password. But if you didn't save it to your phone, or there was a glitch or a bug somewhere, well, now you have an account that has a password and you don't have a password, right? So how do you change your password? How do you log in? Well, then you go to it and say, forgot password. You press the button. Now that's where we are at. The forgot password will bring you back to the page with your username, asking you for old password and asking you for new password. Well, obviously, if you don't know your old password, you can't create a new password. Being that we're partnered with Stripe and their standards are quite high, which we're okay with, Stripe is a financial company. They don't do emails. Their email is delegated to, I think it's like email post or spot on, I don't know, something. In which case we have to use their software, custom code with them within the Stripe ecosystem to then code for us to be able to do that for our people. Now, as you can imagine, Anthony, forgot password, email, duh, everyone does it, so easy. Yeah, I get it. Try doing it through this apparatus. It's like, you would never know, but that's okay. Every time we come up to something like this, we're constantly two feelings. One, frustrated, but secondly, quite excited that for anyone to actually do what we're doing, they have to do everything that we've gone through. I cannot imagine a stronger moat around a business than the one that we have, because every single day is like the end of the world type of challenge. And we sit there and say, okay, this is where we start. Point being, that's going to be done. I was told by today, but I also know that you can't, like, we don't know what's going to happen, right? So I'm saying by tomorrow. I believe with our team, an additional 24 hours, which is 100% longer than they asked for, should be good. But if it isn't, it isn't, right? And I don't want that to get in the way of the launch, because everyone needs to go ahead and have a wallet to send me the address so I can send the coin to your wallet. Now, we haven't even gotten there yet. We still need to go ahead. We have identified Trust Wallet as the best. But anyone who has a wallet, God bless, you can use whatever wallet you want. That's your choice. But for those people that don't have a wallet or don't know what one is, we have to make a bit of a tutorial. Hey, go here. Step 1, step 2. When you get this, email back. Step 3, you're done. And that's not to sound facetious or derogatory towards anyone. I don't even know much about crypto, and I know that sounds silly. I know markets. I know people. I know how to identify strong skill sets in particular things. I don't think I need to know how to code crypto to go ahead and apply crypto, if that makes sense, right? Okay, so that's reason number 1, we want to move it to next week. Reason number 2 is, so in any market, say for instance, you want to buy Microsoft stock. I want to buy Microsoft stock. I go ahead and buy Microsoft stock. My account has enough money to buy Microsoft stock. So when I buy Microsoft stock, the money goes out of my account, the Microsoft stock comes in, easy swap, bing, bang, boom. Sounds easy, right? That's not actually what happens. When you buy it, first of all, you had to get approved for the account that you have with that agency, whether it be E-Trade, Ameritrade, or whatever. They have E&O insurance, errors and omission insurance. So if they're wrong about you, they're insured against it. Now, when that order comes through, it goes to a clearing firm. The clearing firm has insurance on E-Trade, who has insurance on you. So when the clearing firm sees the trade go in, they automatically give you the stock and bring it to you because they believe with all certainty, if not backed up by insurance, that you have the money. Because what they're going to do is they have to go give the money to the person you bought it from to allow the transaction. The money that they give to the person you bought it from isn't coming out of your pocket, it's coming out of their pocket because your funds didn't even get to them yet. It didn't transfer, it didn't clear. So they're coming out of pockets on your behalf on the guarantee that you're going to have it, right? If you don't have it, that's a problem. But they have insurance for it and blah, 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 and it ends up, they kick you off and everything's fine. It's called a clearing firm. In swap land, like liquidity pools, there is no clearing firm. So what has to happen? So when we chose PancakeSwap, it was because they had the lowest bar of entry, the lowest barrier of entry that allow us to get on it immediately. With that low barrier of entry, there's a high level of security, right? Like they don't just let anyone go on. Well, actually, let me take that back. They do, right? Because it's a low barrier of entry. But in letting you go on, they manage how much bad you could do, right? So if they believe that they're going to be bringing on by default, by the lower barrier of entry, a higher percentage of not good actors, they got to protect themselves against it. So instead of allowing anyone to come on and sell a whole bunch of stuff and them acting as a clearing firm for that person, they say, whoa, 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 we're not doing that. We'll let you on, but you have to be your own clearing firm. You have to put the money up first. So you want to sell $1 billion coin at $1? You need to put $1 billion in the account so that the money's there. Oh, we don't have $1 billion. Fine, you don't ever need $1 billion because no one's buying $1 billion at once, and we wouldn't. Not that we wouldn't allow it, but once it's on the market, we can't control it. So that's why I'm saying, like, you can't do it now. You're not allowed. But when it's on the market, if there's $1 billion, we couldn't do anything about it. It's a free market, unless we never put the $1 billion on the market, right? Because we're not putting the whole $1 billion on the market, no one could buy $1 billion. But to go ahead and put 10,000 in the market, 20,000, 100,000 in the market, that means we need to have $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 in that account as well to cover the cost, to cover the clearing. And especially since it's going to move up a penny per day, that amount that we put into the PancakeSwap has to cover that amount as well to go ahead and factor in the price going higher. Okay, where's that money coming from? Like I said, we don't have like thousands of dollars sitting around, but the money that has been coming in for the RHINOretirement, the 50-cent offer that everyone's been taking really great advantage of, and at the same time being partners with us in raising that goal to 10,000, 6,100 now, that's real money. That's coming in all the time. So that money can go into that fund, into the PancakeSwap, to go ahead and provide that security to clear the transactions. But this month is when we're going to launch. We fully expect that once word gets out of the coin that never goes down, we're going to have a lot of people get in. So how do we go ahead and say, how do we not go ahead and stymie our own market, right? Like, so say for instance, 2 weeks from now, someone wants to come in and buy 10 million coin. What am I going to say? No, you can't do it. I would punch me in the face, right? So for the next month, we have to do it on a lag basis. What I mean by that is when somebody goes to purchase, fine, the money comes in, and then once the funds clear by themselves, the 2 days clear and the funds become available, then the coin becomes available to them, right? Now, what's super cool is because you have a RHINOretirement account, we're partnered with Stripe. You have your full transaction history right there. In fact, you could say, I have no idea how much coin I own. I could say, okay, great, go to your account. Where were your transactions? Any transaction before this date was at 50 cents. Any transaction on this date was $1. This date was $1.01, right? Like, we can do the math. It's all right there. So I have no fear of, oh my God, coin's just going to disappear and people are going to like lose it. Because, and I don't mean that derogatory against anyone. I would be the same way. I put myself in your shoes. But we know that's taken care of. Now, because that's the case, so say for instance, you purchase 1,000 coin at $1, right? So you put in the $1,000, you get 1,000 coin 2 days later, but that $1,000 is now in the PancakeSwap account, which means the next person that goes to buy 1,000, yeah, they're going to be doing the same thing, but they don't need to. That 1,000's there in reserve. In fact, if they didn't have the 1,000, we could do it without it. But we're going to continue building that reserve so that by the end of the month, when that reserve is 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, we now don't need to operate with a lag anymore. We can take the risk of guaranteeing the trades on everyone's behalf because we could be the clearing firm. And by being our own clearing firm, and because we're managing the price of stock, we don't see any risk. We know where it is, the stock, the coin, we know where it is. Therefore, all of the coding that needs to be done to create the bots that allow us to go ahead and facilitate that immediate transaction, you go, you buy, the coin comes to your account, is it needed for another 3-4 weeks? That doesn't mean we don't do it, but that means that we're able to take 3 or 4 weeks to make sure that that's like the most amazing thing in the world, because that's everything. For you to be able to go in, all of your transactions automatic, like for instance, your RHINOretirement, the money goes into the Rhino account then sees where it came from, the API call finds your wallet address, that then goes into the market at a market order, purchases the coin, brings it back to the API address that brings it to your wallet, done. All that is done for you. Someone the other day said it's crypto for soccer moms. Now, I don't know how soccer moms take that, but it's not directed at them as much as it's directed at normal human beings that have other concerns than what's going on in the crypto market and have zero idea how to participate, but have an interest in it. I was on the phone with someone that goes, Anthony, you're the only one in the world that could do Stripe crypto transactions with Stripe. I'm like, yeah, well, we're good partners with them. There's a lot of things that we're not marketing on purpose, right? Like if I ran around and said, hey guys, we're the only company that will actually allow you to buy crypto through Stripe. First of all, Stripe would probably not be happy at all of that newfound attention because it would welcome in those that are looking to take advantage of the system. So we're purposely keeping quiet. But the beautiful part is once the coin starts moving, that creates market cap, right? So for instance, Bitcoin's the biggest coin in market cap. Now, market cap is how many coins are there times the price of each coin. And of course, the price is determined by supply and demand, so the price is truth. So for instance, Bitcoin has 21.3 million coins or whatever at like 20,000, whatever that number is, multiply those two together, you get like a 600 billion or 400 billion market cap, which is why people say Bitcoin's worth, 400 billion. You could do the math. That's the only thing that matters because that's the truest form, that's the truest metric to decide or to identify, is this important or is it not? Because if it has a high market cap, that represents all of the people that are investing their own money at the price it's currently at that are looking to be a part of what they are. If it has a small market cap, it's look at how nobody cares what this thing is. Nobody's willing to put the money in to watch it go higher. They don't believe it's worth it. So if you just look at a company and say, like for instance, what's the largest market cap company in the entire world? Apple, 2.5 trillion. What's the second? It's an oil company. Do you think an oil company is good in Saudi Arabia? What's the third? Google, right? Like, so it's market cap equals what the aggregate of investors believe something's worth. And if those with money believe that's worth something, well, they're the only ones that need to believe it. They're the ones buying and selling it. So I see Nico, I'm going to get to it in a second. So the point of what I'm trying to say, and I'm just trying to keep a flow, right? So the point of what I'm trying to say is once the coin starts moving up a penny per day and the purchases continue coming in to support the price and the attention starts growing to go ahead and participate, well, then you could say, okay, well, there's 100 million coin in existence. It's now trading at $3. The market cap is 300 million. What about there's 1 billion coin in existence? It's trading at $5. It's worth $5 billion, right? Everyone has it. What's the price times how many people there are? It's the market cap that we're interested in because once that market cap gets to a certain number, like 100 million, let's say 1 billion, right? Like 1 billion. Well, now Coinbase, all those companies are like, whoa, can we get you on our platform? Because you're one of the premier digital assets. You're one of the premier investments. All the investment banks start calling. How can we get a piece of what you're doing? We want to put it in our alternative crypto platform portfolio, right? Like all of this stuff starts happening. But what's the foundation of crypto? It's right here. Crypto, of coin, of RHINObucks. It's all right here. We're all able to build it the way we want with equal representation from such a diverse group of people that all happen to be at the right place at the right time and said, listen, let's go ahead and go together. So the next week, well, actually the next 2-3 weeks, right, will be a purposeful lab, like 2 days. And what that's going to allow us to do is to do it manually. So next week, we're going to make sure, well, not next week. The rest of it's only Monday, right? The rest of this week, we're going to get everyone's addresses. Okay. Once we get everyone's wallet addresses, we can then, okay, your purchase came in 2 days later, send this coin to that wallet. Now, in which case you're going to say, Ant, well, how do I sell it, right? Like, where do I sell it if I want to? Well, you can then go ahead and sell it on PancakeSwap. Can you? You could, because we're going to have to support the price. So the money that comes in from the purchasers, and I'm thinking about this in real time, right? We then have to take that, put that into the USD inside the PancakeSwap so that the funds are there, and that's what we just said before, so that if you want to sell, there is funds there to go ahead and redeem, to go ahead and support the price. Because if you go ahead and sell and bring the thing down to 7 cents, that's not your fault. That's like our fault. That's like, whoa, red alert. Anthony was like, big liar this whole time. He was supposed to be there to make sure that didn't happen. So all the funds that come in will go there. In which case, I think what I'll even do, not this week, not next week, I'll self-audit. Starting, what's today, the 12th, 19th, let's say the 26th, Monday the 26th, I will go ahead on a daily schedule, publish the scheduled buy, the scheduled sell, the number of holders, and the amount of USD, so dollar coin, that's in the PancakeSwap, so that everyone at any point in time can do the math themselves. Now, of course, I'll offer a commentary to allow someone, again, soccer moms, right? And not soccer moms, we just did that. So if you just got on, please don't be offended. Just someone that's middle class, regular person that has focus on like family, not crypto, right? Like a normal person. Offer commentary for you to go ahead and interpret the data, but you're welcome to interpret it yourself. So Wednesday, we're sending out the RHINObucks email. Everyone's on the list. If you're not, go to rhinostreet.com, top left, join, put your email in, bada bing, bada boom, bring a friend maybe, that'd be kind of cool. But we're going to detail this all out. But what's important for you to know is that we're actually going to extend the 50 cents period until next week, because we're not launching until next week. We want to make sure that we're able to reward everyone. So everyone's purchases this week will continue being at 50 cents, and next week, you'll have one more week of all the 50-cent purchases when the coin goes to $1. So what we can say to you is by Monday of next week, we would have had your wallet address and we will send the coin to you that day. Wednesday of next week, you can start transacting. If you want to sell some, God bless, please don't, or do, it's up to you. And I say please don't because it would just be silly. Like we finally got there and you sell day one, that'd be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So yeah, I'll explain all this Wednesday, but I did want to come on today to make sure everyone can see my face and like, this is happening, right? So we're right there. In fact, if you look at rhinobucks.com, RHINOBUX.com, that is the Etherscan of RHINObucks. At any moment, you can find out everything about the coin, where it's located, who's holding it, what's the price is. We tested it and sent one over to our PancakeSwap address. It worked, so you'll see 2 addresses. In which case, I think you're able to see the address of the PancakeSwap. There's only one in there, so it's not like you could sell anything. But yeah, it's there. All right, let me go through the questions real quick. Can you see me? Can you see me? Yes, it sounds like Michael Cena, right? John Cena. We'll check it out. I can't even log on last time. He kept saying host on. Oh, sorry, Fatima. I do not understand how oh, we already went over that. I'm really way too easy. Like, hi, Anthony, thanks for all the help. It worked for the payments. Greetings. Oh, yeah. So Nico actually called me before from Austria. And you know what? Let that be maybe a real life example. Everyone knows that. And I was talking to my team about this before. We have such a great access, right? V at Rhino Street is our head of concierge. Anything you could ever want, she's there for you. And if it needs to be escalated, fine. Steve at Rhino Street actually does all the development on our coin. Not that anyone should just bombard them with emails, but those that are having difficulty that go through V and go through me, we go ahead and CC them right over to him. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but in my email, there's my phone number. Like, call me, I'll pick up. I usually don't pick up regular numbers, but if I see one from Austria, I know it's work related. What I can say is always text me. If you text me, I will get back to you within, I don't know, 30 seconds. If you email me, I'll get back to you within like an hour. If you call me, it's really like 50-50, but if it's from Austria, I'm gonna pick it up. Aurora, I love her. Hi, Anthony, good to see you again. Come on late, missed most of it, need to get speed. V is awesome. Yeah, no, V is totally cool. So what I'll do is I'll actually upload this. You could put us all in your phone, you know. Dr. Bob, no. But you maybe, because I love you. But I'll go ahead and upload this. It'll be on the YouTube, I guess, in 2 hours. I'm gonna get back to some stuff, but I will have it up. Zoe, you're amazing. And Mike is like my favorite. Okay, so love you all. I'll be back here tomorrow, Tuesday, 2 o'clock. Don, I'll be giving, actually, Donald, are you available now? Can I just jump onto the call? Would that be cool? Ciao, baby. Let me see if Mr. Spennett says yes or no. Thank you, Anthony. Otherwise, I'll just wait till 3. Maybe he's no longer on. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. I'm going to call you now. Everyone, absolutely love you. Thank you. And we are kicking so much butt. Bye-bye.